I walked into my sister's wedding reception and saw the family table. 6 chairs, 6 name cards. Mine wasn't there. Just an empty space where I was supposed to sit. My parents glanced at me. My sister whispered something to her maid of honor. They both smiled. Not the warm kind. The other kind. "Did you really think you'd sit with us?" she said, just loud enough for the bridesmaids to hear. Laughter rippled through the group. 200 guests. Crystal chandeliers. A 4-tier cake. And me, standing there like I didn't belong. What do you do when your own family erases you in front of everyone? Most people would leave. I had receipts in my bag that would change everything. Where are you watching from? And what time is it there? Hit that like button if you've ever been the black sheep. I smiled, turned around, and walked straight toward the DJ booth. Because I wasn't leaving. Not yet, let me back up. My sister and I grew up in the same house, but we lived in different worlds. She got the bigger bedroom, the brand new car at 16, a college fund that covered everything. I got a used laptop and a part-time job at 15 to pay for gas. When she wanted to study abroad, our parents wrote the check. When I wanted to take summer classes, they handed me a loan application. "You're more responsible," my mom used to say. "You'll figure it out." I did figure it out. I became a CPA, built a solid career, paid off every loan myself. My sister, she bounced between influencer gigs and business ideas that always needed just a little more funding. Our parents funded every single one. I learned something early. Save everything. Every email. Every text. Every receipt. It started in college when she took credit for a group project I'd done alone. I had no proof. She had our parents' belief. Never again. By the time I was 25, I had a filing system that would make an auditor weep with joy. 3 months before her wedding, she called me. That call changed everything. I thought she was reaching out. Maybe trying to reconnect. I was wrong. She needed money, again. And when I asked for accountability, she made me the villain. That's how I ended up at a wedding where my own family pretended I didn't exist. I wouldn't ask if I wasn't desperate. That's how the call started. My sister's voice was tight, stressed. "The venue needs another 15,000 by Friday. I know it's a lot, but you're the only one who can help." I paused. This wasn't the first time. "What about the 8,000 from your boutique?" I asked. "You said you'd pay me back when it took off." Silence. Then her tone changed. "You're seriously bringing that up?" "This is my wedding, but fine. I should have known you'd make it about money." "I'm not making it about money," I said. "I just want us to be clear. If I help, I need a signed agreement. An acknowledgement of what's already owed." She laughed, sharp and bitter. "You know what? Don't bother coming if you're going to be like this." She hung up. 2 days later, my parents called. "Your sister is under so much stress. Why can't you just be supportive for once?" "I offered to help," I said. "I just asked for her to grovel," my dad cut in. "She's getting married. Can't you just be happy for her?" I told them I'd think about it. The invitation still came in the mail. Ivory cardstock, gold lettering. My name was on it. I decided to go. To try one more time. I thought showing up would be enough. I was wrong. I bought a gift. Nothing extravagant. A set of wine glasses she'd registered for. I drove 3 hours to the venue. I wore my best dress. I walked in with my head up. The seating chart was near the entrance. A big gold frame with table assignments and elegant calligraphy. I scanned it once, twice, 3 times. My name wasn't there. "Excuse me," I said to the coordinator. "I think there's been a mistake." She checked her tablet. The bride made some last-minute changes. "Let me see. You're at table 18. Table 18 was in the back corner, past the dance floor, near the service entrance. I sat down with second cousins I hadn't seen in a decade. People who barely knew my name. From my seat, I could see the family table. My parents, my sister, her new in-laws. An empty chair where I should have been. During cocktail hour, I walked past the bridal suite. The door was cracked. I heard my sister's voice. "Some people just can't be happy for others." Her bridesmaids laughed. I felt it then. The full weight of it. I wasn't just excluded. I was erased. I thought about leaving, slipping out quietly. Then I remembered the folder in my car. I excused myself, walked to the parking lot, opened my trunk. Inside was a leather portfolio, the kind lawyers carry. I'd prepared it weeks ago, just in case. Inside were 2 loan agreements. The first one was dated 2 years ago. Principal amount, $8,000. Borrower, my sister. Lender, me. Term, 12 months. Interest, 0%. Repayment status, $0 paid. Her signature was at the bottom. Clear as day. The second agreement was from 18 months ago. $15,000 for her boutique. The one that closed after 3 months. Same terms. Same signature. Same repayment status, nothing. I had bank transfer screenshots too. Timestamps, account details, everything. And tucked in the back was a handwritten card she'd sent me. You're the best. I'll pay you back as soon as the boutique takes off. Love you. $23,000. Not a penny repaid. Not even acknowledged. I stood there in the parking lot holding the proof. Most people would walk away, write it off, move on. But this wasn't just about money anymore. She'd lied, erased me, painted me as the problem. And I had receipts. But that wasn't all I had. The second folder was worse. I walked back inside. Dinner was being served. My table got their plates last. At the family table, my sister stood up, glass of champagne in hand. I just want to thank everyone who really showed up for us tonight. She looked directly at the empty chair, then at me. The people who put love ahead of everything else. Applause. My dad stood next, raised his glass. To family. The ones who celebrate with you, not the ones too busy counting pennies. Laughter rippled through the room. I felt my face burn. My phone buzzed. A group text. Extended family. Why are you causing drama at her wedding? Can't you just let her have this day? I hadn't said a word to anyone. Another buzz. Instagram story from the maid of honor. A photo of the champagne toast. Caption, when toxic people remove themselves. Champagne emoji. Cheers emoji. I was being rewritten in real time. The villain. The jealous sister. The one who couldn't be happy. Around me, my table mates whispered and glanced. I had 15 minutes until the cake cutting. That's when the speeches would happen. I stood up, smoothed my dress, and walked toward the DJ. They thought they'd erased me. They were about to find out how wrong they were. Before I made my move, my phone buzzed again. A text from a mutual friend. Someone who'd done floral arrangements. Hey, your sister told the florist you stole from the family? That you're under investigation? I told her that was crazy. Just wanted you to know. I stared at the screen. She'd lied to the vendors. Told them I was a thief. That's why I'd been pushed out. I scrolled back through my emails. Found the thread from a month ago. My sister had asked me to send the $15,000 off the books. Let's keep this between us. No paper trail. You know how taxes are. I'd ignored it. Told her I needed everything documented. She'd been furious. Then I found the voicemail. I'd saved it. Of course I had. 3 weeks before the wedding. Her voice, tight and venomous. If you don't help me, I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. Blackmail. In writing, in audio. She hadn't just excluded me. She'd slandered me. Tried to control me. And when I wouldn't bend, she tried to destroy me. I had the proof. Every word. Every lie. Now I had a choice. Stay silent and let her win. Or tell the truth. I didn't understand it at first. Why go this far? Why lie? Why humiliate me publicly? Then I pieced it together. A friend who'd co-signed a lease with my sister had mentioned something months ago. She's really stressed about money. I saw a credit report by accident. It was bad. I'd brushed it off then. Now it made sense. My sister was drowning. $47,000 in credit card debt. Personal loans. Payment plans. My parents had given her $30,000 for the wedding. She'd used most of it to pay minimums and keep collectors quiet. Only $8,000 actually went to the venue. She needed my $15,000 to cover the rest. When I asked for a signed agreement, I became a threat, because a signed agreement meant questions, and questions meant our parents would find out the truth. She didn't just want my money. She wanted me gone, invisible, so no one would ask why the golden child was broke. It wasn't about the wedding. It was about control, about maintaining the image. I wasn't the villain. I was the witness. And she couldn't afford to have me in the room. Now I knew exactly what to do. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to make a scene. I was going to tell the truth, calmly, clearly. I walked up to the DJ booth during a song transition. He was young, probably a college kid earning weekend cash. "Excuse me," I said. "I'd like to say a few words. For my sister." He hesitated. The bride didn't mention any extra toasts. "It'll be quick," I said. "Just 2 minutes. I'm her sister." He glanced toward the head table. My sister was laughing, champagne glass in hand. She didn't see me yet. "Okay," he said. "After this song." I nodded, pulled the folder from under my arm. My hands were steady. My heart was pounding, but my hands didn't shake. The song ended. The DJ handed me the microphone. "We have one more toast," he said. From the bride's sister. The room quieted. My sister's head snapped toward me. Her smile faltered. My mother started to stand. Too late, I was already speaking. "I'd like to take a moment to honor family," I said, "and the importance of keeping your word." My sister's face went pale. I smiled, and I began. "I want to thank my sister for giving me the opportunity to support her dreams over the years." I opened the folder. 2 years ago, I loaned her $8,000. We signed an agreement. 12-month term. 0 interest. She promised to pay me back. I held up the document. Someone in the back pulled out their phone. 18 months ago, I loaned her another $15,000 for a business venture. Same terms. Another signed agreement. I held up the second page. My sister stood up. "Stop." I didn't stop. To date, I've received $0 in repayment. But tonight I was told I'm the one who's petty. The one who can't be happy for family. My voice stayed calm. Even. I was also told by a vendor that my sister informed several people I'd stolen from this family. That I was under investigation. Gasps. My dad stood now too. I kept going. 3 weeks ago, she left me a voicemail. And I quote, "If you don't help me, I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are." A cousin I'd paid to help with AV touched his laptop. The projector screen behind the head table lit up. First image, loan agreement number 1, $8,000. Her signature. Second image, loan agreement number 2, $15,000. Her signature. Third image, the email. "Let's keep this off the books." The room was silent. You could hear the air conditioning. My sister's face was crimson. The groom looked confused, lost. "I didn't come here for repayment," I said. "I came here to set the record straight." I was erased from the seating chart, called toxic on social media, accused of theft. I placed the folder on the nearest table. "Here's the truth." I handed the mic back to the DJ, looked at my sister. "Congratulations on your marriage. I hope it's built on more honesty than today was." And I walked out. No one stopped me. No one said a word. The only sound was my heels on the marble floor. I drove home that night in silence. No music, no podcasts, just the hum of the highway. My phone started buzzing around midnight. Half the family blocked me. The other half sent private messages. I had no idea. "I'm so sorry." That took guts. One uncle called and apologized. Said he'd always suspected my sister got preferential treatment but never said anything. My parents sent a single email 2 weeks later. "We think everyone should consider therapy." No apology, no acknowledgement, just a suggestion that I was part of the problem. I didn't respond. My sister's marriage lasted 8 months. I heard through a cousin that the groom's family had been horrified by what happened at the wedding. It wasn't the reason they split. But it didn't help. My sister never apologized. She stopped posting about me entirely. just pretended I didn't exist, which honestly was fine. I never pursued legal repayment. I wrote off the loans, took the tax deduction for bad debt, moved on, but I did something else. I set boundaries. Real ones, no more loans. No more family emergencies that only I could solve. No more silent tolerance. I started a workshop, helping other people navigate financial boundaries with family, teaching them how to say no without guilt, how to document, how to protect themselves. Turns out I wasn't alone. Hundreds of people reached out, shared their stories. The black sheep, the responsible ones, the ones who gave and gave until there was nothing left. I built something good out of that pain. A year later, my parents sent a Christmas card. Generic, signed by both of them. No mention of what happened. I didn't send one back. Some people think I should have handled it privately. Maybe they're right. But private conversations hadn't worked. Private boundaries had been ignored. Sometimes the truth needs witnesses. Silence protects the wrong people. Speaking up protects you. I don't regret what I did. Not for a second. I chose self-respect over family approval. And I'd make the same choice again. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to stand up to family? What would you have done in my situation? Would you have stayed silent, or would you have spoken up? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and if you believe boundaries matter more than keeping the peace, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started. One last thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization. It's not legal or financial advice, but it is the truth about what happens when you stop letting people erase you. Thanks for listening.